I had it in my mind that I was going to kill myself.
Yeah.
And
at that moment, you didn't see another way.
Nope.
Yeah.
I didn't see a way out. And I thought everybody would be better without me.
Mm.
You know, why do I feel mentally depressed? Why do I feel this way about myself?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I stop drinking?
Right.
Why can't I stop doing drugs?
When somebody is going through the ugliness of addiction,
Yeah.
others around them are being pulled.
Yeah.
And then when they're in recovery, it's lifting that hope, that time, that effort, all the things that you put into that person
Yeah.
that didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, you're now getting paid back a little bit because you see them rise. So it lifts other people too. So,
Heck yeah.
So it's not just 3,400 people. It's way more.
Yeah,
than that.
no, and we're definitely trying to help the winners here. You know, we see three types of patients.
Mm-hmm.
We see a pain patient. Mm-hmm. That's someone that just entered detox, that's in pain, that had a tooth blow up.
Yeah.
And I have what's called the pain train.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pain train of doctors that help those patients get out of pain and back to recovery.
Yep.
Okay, because they're in a 60-day program that they cannot leave.
Yeah.
The second type of patient is an overdenture patient. And the third type is a full arch patient.
Yeah.
The difference between overdenture and full arch is that the overdenture patient has already had their teeth removed and have a denture.
Mm-hmm.
And the full arch patient, they have all their teeth removed, usually in the same day or staged or however the doctor wants to do it, but it's screw retained prosthetics.
Okay.
The overdenture, the patient walks in with a denture, and what we're doing is we're giving stability to that denture.
Okay.
All right. We're able to put 3 to 4 holes in that denture and connect it to an implant that's in their jaw.
Right.
And give them stability. And a lot of our problems are from the Medicaid doctors that, Medicaid started paying for dentures.
Right.
And so these doctors would take people's teeth out, not thinking functionality. They were thinking aesthetically. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And so we have really struggled to find that magic bullet that would be able to be the Chick-fil-A, the McDonald's, the Wendy's, the Uber or Lyft for a dentist. Mm-hmm. Like, what process can we put in place for all of these patients?
Yeah.
That it works for everyone.
Sure.
And so this past month we found it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's an overdenture procedure, mm-hmm. and it's Renew's patent protected procedure.
Yeah.
And what Renew does is, you see a lot of these marketing companies, attracting doctors, and they'll spend, $1 million per territory on marketing and waste a lot of money just to get 7 out of 100 people. Mm-hmm. Right. So if I get 7 out of 100, that's almost 700 in revenue. You spend 100, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's a win.
It pencils.
Yeah. So what Renew does is they actually do the opposite. Renew has an affiliate program where, they charge you X amount of dollars, mm-hmm. and they can finance that for the doctor. Mm-hmm. But then they also take care of the entire process for the doctor and the entire staff.
Okay.
From the time the patient walks in, the doctor just sees them one time, mm-hmm. and that's for a scan. And that scan is sent to a radiologist. The radiologist will say yes or no, that patient, is approved.
Right.
Well, what Renew does is they put an employee in that doctor's office, mm-hmm. and there's no affiliate within 100 miles of each other. Mm-hmm. All right. So they put their employee into the office. They spend $25,000 to $50,000 in marketing for that radius. Mm-hmm. Right. So they're driving business to them.
Sure.
The affiliate cost for the program is probably $1,800 a month, mm-hmm. until you hit a certain number. But they're bringing you 5 to 8 cases that you're going to make $7,000 on per month. Yep. Pretty good. And you're not touching them until the end of until the surgery day.
And you're not playing whack-a-mole with your own marketing.
No.
Or whatever company you think is going to help you.
Your office is not affected in one bit.
Yeah.
And if that patient doesn't qualify, mm-hmm. there's a team of doctors that will get them qualified if they're not medically approved. Okay. If their health is off.
Sure.
But what's cool about Renew is that they do the entire planning, the whole procedure, and they give you guides. Mm-hmm. Like, they will make your guide for the bone height in which you're going to cut. And then they give you another guide. what they've created is a system in place where any doctor that's trained on their certain procedure can do the surgery in 7 minutes.
Wow.
It's nuts.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable, the gift that this program has. And they have 50 doctors throughout the United States, and we need 50 more.
Yeah.
We need 50 more dentists to jump on board, because they're going to help take care of Smiles for Recovery patients too. And before we met Renew, they did all of their training down in Guadalajara.
Now they do it here.
And now they do it here.
I love it.
Because we have the patient source that they don't have in Mexico. So I've been able to bridge the gap between, corporate world and trainings to the bottom of the barrel type restorations, the people, the last stop.
Yeah.
The people that no one thinks about.
Well, before we ever met, I had heard of you through a mutual friend of ours, and she was like, there's a group that's doing something different that I'm going to need to introduce you to. Yeah. And Valerie was bragging about y'all, and she was like, still trying to put the pieces together. She goes, but it's going to come together.
Yeah.
And she goes, y'all going to figure out, y'all going to end up working together one of these days. I was like, all right, well, you keep me dialed in whenever. Yeah. And, so it's great seeing you guys doing such amazing work, changing lives, and at the same time, figuring out how that works into the businesses so that the businesses are winning as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot of places out there that would love to give back, but they either don't have the funds, or they haven't figured out how they can kind of marry that with what they're already doing.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of, you take care of that for them, and you're like, okay, you want to be a part of this. This is how it works. This is how you get what you need. This is how they get what they need. And these are the people we're helping.
And I'm educating them on tax code.
Yeah.
Because I'm a 501c3 vice president.
Yep.
Right. I don't own the business. I'm trusted by the community to run the business.
That's right.
And it's really difficult to get, a doctor that's been practicing for 30 years think one way, and then you open their eyes and they're like, I can impact so many people and still keep my money.
Oh yeah.
And that's the hard part, is that people don't trust. And I understand why. And that's what I wanted to do with Smiles for Recovery, is make sure that we were not a glass house, that you could see the money and you could see the result go back to the street.
Yeah.
And you could see it in people's lives, and it's affected their children. It's affected their communities. I'll tell you a couple of stats. So we started collecting data.
I love data.
I love data too, man. And we'll do like these surveys, and I'll ask the patient certain questions. And because I've had experiences being in the operatory when a child has seen their mother for the first time smile, right? So 85% of our patients do not worry about going to a school event with their kids anymore.
Oh, yeah.
97.8% have not relapsed. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
So when people and what that means is that this goes so deeper than just 97%, right? Because the reason people relapse because they're in pain.
Yeah.
Right. So they go to the hospital. If they don't get their drug of choice, they're going to find it somewhere else, and they might relapse and die.
Yeah.
So that's the problem we're solving, is relapse and death on the street. With the people that need full arch, we're changing their mental game.
Yep.
Right? We're giving them confidence. We're giving them an ability to be a different person.
That's right.
When they walk into the room, we're giving them the ability to eat differently.
Sure.
Because the people that were in pain, 9 times out of 10, they're going to the hospital for GERD or acid reflux.
Well, if you're in pain, nothing else matters.
Right.
At the end of the day,
I'm gonna find relief.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because depending upon how bad the pain is, that means you can't sleep, you can't eat,
you can't work,
can't work, you can't concentrate, you can't have a conversation. So, at the end of the day, if I can't solve the pain, if I can't get rid of this pain, then I've got to go find a way to get rid of the pain.
Yeah.
And that's usually back at whatever addiction that was.
Yeah. And we noticed that is that a lot of our patients, they came from really traumatic backgrounds. And I started digging into that. And right now we're doing a medical research paper that is going to draw a line and really change some medical people's opinion. But we're about to change the game to where Smiles for Recovery patients are no longer classified in oral health.
Okay.
They're classified in mental health because we're about to have a medical journal written about us.
Yeah.
And the data that we've collected.
I can absolutely see that, though, because so much of it is mental. I mean, it's just, it affects every interaction that they have.
Yeah.
Not just outward interactions, but the interactions they have with themselves.
Exactly. The internal talk.
Yeah.
The negative self-talk.
Absolutely.
The I don't want to live talk. And usually when we meet a new patient, they have to be a year sober.
Sure.
Right? If they're not in pain. They have to have a sponsor. And they can never smoke again.
Yeah. Good.
So those are the accountability parts and pieces, but they also have to continue to do those things.
Sure.
Right? Because we have to teach them new life skills. And what's cool about our program is that if you go through your detox, long-term care, short-term care, whatever approach you take for recovery, you come out at 2 years. So we get them at 1 year sober, and then they're done healing and they get their final restoration at 2 years. Then they graduate their program at 2 years. Where we struggle as a nation is stopping at recovery.
Yeah.
We don't have solutions for that person. We've said, hey, you stop drinking and drugging, you've got a great life ahead.
Yeah.
But we don't give them resources for that. Right? So what Smiles for Recovery did is we created a resource.
Yeah.
Is that we have a dental assistant academy that gives a licensed dental assistant in Tennessee the opportunity to become a DA, a dental assistant for a doctor, and a career.
I love that. Well, and I know you're our friends, but I think of that very much in line with what the guys are doing at Hustle Recovery.
Yeah.
In that they know that the amount of time spent in recovery and the amount of kind of rebuilding that life, and not just cold turkey, like, okay, well, you graduated, see you later.
Yeah.
That's why their program is what, almost 5x as successful as other programs throughout the nation.
Yeah. Washington uses them as case study.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely. And Troy's on our board of directors for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? He's the one that said, hey, man, y'all need to really get organized, man. I mean, this is too good. You got to, and I could do a really good impression.
Yeah, that's good.
He said, man, I just love you, man. That's how he talks.
That's how he talks.
That's him, and he loves people. And he was patient number 1 in Full Arch.
Yeah.
Right? And the transformation has been amazing. But
think of how many groups he has been in front of. What kind of stages he has been on. Yeah, I know. Yeah. The people he's met. Yeah. They see, if they would have seen what I saw. So I met Troy 3 years ago. He was picking up his 3 or 4 year chip. And I watched him, and I watched how he carried himself, and it was all about other people. It was no ego. Yeah. And you thought it was, but it really wasn't. He was really concerned about people that were dying in the street. Yeah. And so that's what really gave me the incentive and gave me the vision to be able to use the gifts that I had professionally to be able to impact my community. Yeah. And I had no idea how I was going to do that. And people said, oh, you're going to be of service to somebody someday. And I'm like, I have no idea how that's going to be. I'm not of service to my own self. Right. And that's all I was worried about was self. Sure. So those rooms really influenced me and gave me opportunities to be able to impact my community and other communities. I mean, we are trying to really reach a part of the population that is the modern day leper. Right? Yeah. The ones that get their life together and have to stand in front of a judge and say, I'm better, I'm healed, but their mouths don't resemble what's going on the inside. Right. They found joy and hope and love, but they look like... Yeah, they've been through it.
Yeah.
And because their teeth have,
For sure. And what's even crazy is the drugs that we try to get off of, they give us more drugs that will sustain the shakes and the withdrawal, but it kills our enamel.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
The same drug to get me off of methamphetamine is going to kill all of my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sober, but I'm toothless. I can't eat. I can't swallow. I can't chew my food. I got to swallow it whole.
What kind of quality of life am I going to have?
Right.
Who's going to hire me?
I'd rather go back to drugging.
Yeah.
Because at least I get some care.
Right.
At least I can go to a food pantry.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody is noticing me.
Yeah.
But when I am well and I'm not up here well,
mm-hmm.
then I'm going to have a different perspective. Right. So that's what's important about our program and the longevity and the sustainability is that we're not just treating people's aesthetic looks. Like, we're not just treating the way that we perceive them with a smile. We're treating the entire body.
Well, there's so much data out there now that says that if you smile, if your default is to smile, then you're a happier person.
Mm.
And if their default is to cover and not smile, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're frowning. So mentally, your action of not smiling, in fact, you telling yourself don't do that, is stealing joy from your life.
It's traumatic. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's the trauma that we're trying to understand is that what came first,
mm-hmm.
mental illness or the alcohol and drugs?
Right.
What are we coping from?
Mm-hmm.
Are we looking deeper in this person's life?
Yeah.
Are there other, there's crazy things going on right now with research. I mean, but we want to be able to and I'll stay on track. I'm not going to get on a tangent. Recovery is not my job,
mm-hmm.
right? I do recovery after my job.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I do because I love to serve.
Well, you've figured out how to marry the two.
Yeah.
So that your after job and your in the job, really, they come together.
Yeah.
And that's where you experience joy. I mean, that's why I do what I do is, I kind of look at it like in your previous life, you did what you did for money. Not that you don't need money now, but like you were like, all right, well, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I had this job. I went and I did it. And these days I pick who I work with. These days I do what I do because I love it.
Yeah.
It may be tough. It may be a really hard day, maybe harder than any other day I've ever had, but I'm doing it with and for the people that I want to do it with.
Exactly.
And that's where purpose gets derived. That's where you get energy from.
Exactly. And I'll be honest, I do get beat up,
mm-hmm.
By people that, because you can't help everybody.
That's right.
And some people don't want to help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do get blamed for not being chosen for something because of somebody else's actions. And it does take a toll because I see a lot of need,
mm-hmm.
but I can't help everyone.
That's right.
I have to be mindful that there are other problems that these folks might have that I can't just snap my fingers and be done, with their procedure. Like, it's going to take a lot of time. Some people 2 years.
Yeah.
Well,
and they've got to be willing to do their part. Plain and simple. This is not. Even think of somebody who worked at a food kitchen, right?
Yeah.
It's somewhere you have to draw the line. It's somewhere you ran out.
Yeah.
And so you have to do a great job of only serving those who are ready to be served.
Exactly.
And to be active participants
in the service work.
That's right.
Right? And that's what it all comes back to. And, the team of doctors and the board of directors that we have
mm-hmm.
are another piece of it. Like, just like Troy, for example,
mm-hmm.
A Facebook post he started, this nonprofit that has helped over 5,000 people get sober or have recovery.
And just like yours, 5,000 people that actually went through the program, 30, 50, 100,000 people whose lives were improved because those 5,000 people got help?
It multiplies, man.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's amazing to think about. Jessica Lewis, I've known since we were 20
mm-hmm.
in college.
Yeah.
She went out and became a dental hygienist and got an MBA.
Mm-hmm.
And she's on my board of directors now.
That's right.
Dr. Pryor, I met him 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
First stop in the dental industry, and he was it.
Yeah.
And he's the only doctor, I say this all the time, he is the only doctor that I could have done any of this with in America.
but you had that feeling, even though you'd not actually done any business with him.
Yeah.
There was this something that was drawing
Kindred spirits, man.
Yeah.
And Dr. Jody Griffin, same way.
Mm-hmm.
When we met, it was like instant, like we're brothers.
Yeah.
And I really do. Some people, like when they hang out with him and then they hang out with me, they're like, that's the same person, except the only thing different is that he pulls teeth and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful partnership. And it's like big brother, little brother. And it's like dad and son. It's the things I never got.
Yeah.
Right? And it's so cool to watch not only our patient stories, but watch how we all evolve. Mm-hmm. And then we have Dr. Brummett. And Dr. Brummett's the type of guy that I invited to be on this board and call for a vote for him because I knew that spiritually he was the guy that would pray for me every day. Mm. And he does.
Yeah.
And he worries about me and he thinks about me. And he's the guy that is in my corner that will probably open the doors to heaven for me. Mm-hmm. Right. And he's a doctor. And I met him 5 years ago and I was calling on him and I just realized something about him. I was like, he ain't interested in what I got to sell. He's interested in my soul.
That's right.
He cared way deeper than just what I had to offer him as a rep.
Yeah. And how cool is that?
It was awesome because I carried that with me all the way to the point where I was like, I called him and I said, hey, we're doing some pretty cool stuff. I need you.
Yeah.
I need you in my corner.
Yep.
And I'm calling on you to do that for me. And every time I call him, he's there.
Yeah.
You know, he's there and just a outlet to be able to talk to.
Yeah.
And, you know, Dr. Pryor and I, we're tied to the hip, man.
Yeah.
Like I love that man because I love his heart. Mm-hmm. And he's given out so much and so much opportunity to people that never would have had it.
Yeah.
And then we just added Mitzi Dawn. Mm-hmm. And if you know,
yeah,
you know,
she's
Mitzi,
awesome. Yeah.
She's connected politically.
Yeah.
And she's turned into one of my best friends, you know, in business. And we just work well together and we're passionate about connecting people.
I get a kick out of her social media because there is no rhyme or reason as to who's going to be on it next.
Right. You're right. I mean, it's crazy. But she knows a lot of people. She's very influential and she cares about hustle recovery. She cares about Smiles for Recovery. Mm-hmm. She will do anything we ask her to do.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Troy and Ashley Dickens. And Ashley has been with Dr. Pryor for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So we have a real family, real connection when it comes to a board of trustees. And Dr. Axtell is on our clinical advisory board and just well connected throughout the community. And you know, I'm really grateful for the team that I and so many have helped me put together.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Really. It's like the dream team.
It is. It's amazing.
So somewhere out there, somebody's listening to this right now, and you know, I know you've got 50 doctors on, but you need 50 more.
Yeah.
How do they connect with you? How do they get involved?
Yeah, so you can email me at justin@smilesforrecovery.org. Okay. I give that out freely.
Sure.
You know, one of the things that you could do is you could give your time, money, or effort, right? We ask for those three things. You know, if you're a doctor and you want to give your time, come and learn. It's free education. Go to smilesforrecovery.org and go to Doctor Inquiry and sign up for a week. Yeah. Right. Or for a weekend that we do a course.
Sure.
So that's a way that you can give.
And y'all just recently did one in Knoxville. Was that right?
We have one a month in Knoxville, one a quarter in Lebanon. Okay. And we do one a quarter in Lexington, Kentucky.
Got it.
Yeah. So what we're asking for is I haven't had a budget of over $10,000 a month. And we're asking the public now, can you help?
Sure.
With $10 a month, with $100 a month, can you help us expand our program? Can you help us be able to serve more people, to kind of go to the next level? Because we have yet to take any public money. This has all been doctor funded.
That's right.
This is what's cool.
Yeah.
Is that we haven't been the hey, here's our hand.
Yeah.
No, we wanted to prove a concept and we wanted to prove a need because we knew the need was there, but we needed to fill a couple of holes.
Yeah.
And so now we're asking the public to help however you can.
Yeah.
And you can do that at smilesforrecovery.org. We have a donate page and I would love it. And I'm not ashamed to ask for help when I need it.
No, that's totally fine. We'll make sure that it's part of the show notes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So thank you.
That's great, man. And I did not know. I didn't know that y'all did one per month in each one of those. That's great.
Yeah. So this year alone, we'll probably train anywhere from 150 to 200 dentists.
Okay. And are there any specific areas where you're like, we have a huge hole in this area, or like, of those 50, like what are a couple places where you're like, hey, I mean, help us find somebody?
Yeah, Indianapolis.
Okay.
Indianapolis is a great market. Paducah, Kentucky is a great market, and anywhere in Texas.
Okay.
And California is always great. But really, like, do you do surgery? Do you want a doctor in a box kind of thing? Do you want to have a process that you make really good money?
Yeah.
And you continue to do what you love, and you have a training facility in the U.S.?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of a three-piece thing. I mean, we do have our patient piece, we have the doctor piece, and the teaching doctor piece. So,
and most of the people that get involved from the kind of, excuse the term, but doc in a box type scenario, do you mostly see those are like they own one office, or do they own multiple offices? What does that typically look like?
So we have one. We typically just use one location per doctor.
Sure.
And we have we use the Buxton score. So it will tell us how many people we're impacting, or how many people are in that radius, and give us a number. Okay. And typically we like to see anywhere from 80 to 100. We just did one the other day, and it was like, it scored 120, and they had never seen it. We thought it was an error.
Yeah. And
it was just such a good score. And they were like, Justin, thank you for, helping us fill this, because we didn't know that was an opportunity.
Sure.
And so I'm able to give them kind of boots on the ground.
Yeah.
For instance, Lewisburg, Tennessee is growing, as you know.
Yeah.
They didn't know that it had a really high score, because everybody's kind of going Columbia, Spring Hill, Columbia, Lewisburg.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to be a part of and watch and be boots on the ground for people, and also be able to draw the lines to be able to serve Smiles for Recovery patients and to pay for them.
Yeah.
And also, the politicians out there, we need our politicians.
Yeah.
There's money that is sitting right there that can help us fund and can help us stay alive.
Yep.
And the greatest thing about this whole thing is we have 5% overhead.
Wow.
5. Most nonprofits are operating 20-30% overhead.
Yeah.
I'm the only employee, and Dr. Pryor pays me separately.
Right. Yeah.
So he does what he can.
Well, you see there that, I mean, out of every dollar given, 95 cents, or 95 out of 100 is going directly back to the mission.
Yes. And that's why we wanted to make sure that everybody knew we were not a glass house.
Yeah.
We do have different databases that keep up with our patients.
Sure.
We have some marketing stuff that we do.
Yeah.
But it is at a minimal. I do pretty much everything, from the planning procedures to, not the implant procedures, but the processes that we put in place.
Oh yeah.
We take care of it.
You're busy.
Yeah, it is exhausting. This is my second podcast for the day, so I'm like I can feel myself doing this.
That's right.
And I'm like trying to come back up and give this audience what you deserve and the information. And I hope that I've been able to do that effectively.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to inspire some people out there like you normally do.
I try to.
That's right. So, let's just say somebody gets involved, those types of things. What does a typical path look like for a patient? For a patient, you're on about a 6-month waiting list. Okay, before you get a call. No one has my number, so I'm not going to call you. Sure. You're going to get contacted by somebody in the office, and you're not going to know when. You're going to come in, you're going to take a CT, and we're going to see what's going on with you. Sure. Right? We're going to see a 3D image of what your bone looks like. Right. And what your teeth look like. And then we're going to try and match you up with a surgeon that can do your case. Okay. And that usually takes another 4 to 6 months. Yeah. All right. So you got about a year that you're in process. Sure. So it's kind of like a lottery system. It is. The doctor has to love your case. He's got to want to do your case. And you got to think probably 300 to 400 of our 1,300 patients, they probably don't qualify. Yeah.
So there's not everybody qualifies because of bone structure, because of disease and infection and their lifestyle.
Well, you've also got to make sure that, when you pick somebody, that they are the right candidate for success.
Right. And there's a whole approach that we've kind of implemented where we do a psychological evaluation. Mm-hmm. There's 4 sets of eyes that are watching the patient go through this process when we first meet them.
Yeah.
And so I'm not the only eyes on the patient.
Sure.
There's 4 separate eyes that are looking to see, is this patient going to give these doctors a good experience? Mm-hmm. Are they going to be able to sit still for 6 to 8 hours?
Yeah.
Are they going to freak out? Are they going to, not be a good candidate after the surgery? Like, are they going to be impatient?
But at the end of the day, you're talking about something that's going to change their life.
Exactly. But they lose that perception real quick.
Yeah.
They lose it. They go, okay, this is a case that typically would cost anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000, and it's coming to them for free.
Yeah.
And what I'm noticing is the longer that they have to wait for their prosthetic, the more entitled they become.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a part of our process. That tells me that I need to change our process a little bit, that I need to become faster or get better in a certain area, but that it's not always perfect.
Well, and too, part of it, and I'm sure you do this, but it's setting that expectation of, hey, this is not fast.
You're right.
But you're also not paying $70,000 for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you have a year and a half of time, bring it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, we're probably not the best partner for you.
That's right. Yeah. So somebody out there right now has a friend, has a family member that is still covering up the addiction.
Yeah.
Still managing through the process. What advice do you give somebody out there that, you can't fix it for them. It breaks your heart to watch it. What's something that you would tell them as they are adjacent to a loved one?
Yeah, I get asked this question a lot. Jim, unfortunately, you got to wait for that bottom.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do.
But there's somebody out here that needs to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, because they're thinking that they just haven't tuned into the right podcast yet because they're trying to find the answer.
Yeah. The answer is that the person has to have enough pain. The book tells me that I've got to experience enough pain to create change. Mm-hmm. And if, what created the pain was my family, my wife, my dog, and all the things that I thought I was entitled to, and my freedom. Mm-hmm. And it didn't change until Justin wanted to change.
Yeah.
Right. And no one could diagnose me but myself. Mm-hmm. Like, that was the other thing, is like, I can't go around diagnosing people with alcoholism,
right,
or drug addiction. I'm not a doctor. I can see the lifestyle that's connected to the person and go, you might want to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Like, if you really don't think you're an alcoholic, try and go drink as much as you can and then stop and see if that works.
Yeah.
Or go to the next bar and see if you have urges to go back. Right. And that's what we're taught. But there is help out there. There's plenty of help. There's plenty of meetings.
Yeah.
Those rooms are full.
But they will drag up another chair.
Yeah, I will. I will, definitely. And they will too. But I would say be patient. Addiction is not something that a lot of people can understand.
You can't fix it for them.
No, you can't. And that's not what we're trying to do. Because we're not trying to, we are seriously trying to help the winners.
That's right.
And the winners in the program, they really do deserve a change.
Yeah.
And deserve to level up.
Yeah. Somebody to love on them. Somebody to give them a hand up. And
they're loving on other people.
Yeah.
Like, they're resembling the whole point of this is to be of service. When 2 alcoholics or 2 drug addicts are sitting in a room talking, that's a meeting.
Yeah.
That's a meeting. That's where, the hardest parts of our life come together and we go, okay, there's a different way.
Yeah.
There's a different way, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to do something else that's positive for someone else and not ourselves, because I know innately I'm the most selfish person in the room. So I have to do other things to make sure that I don't come off that way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, a lot of our patients, that's the last thing I'll say about it, I get looked at differently now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got all my things together. I'm some sort of important person,
Mm-hmm.
just because I came up with this great idea.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I'm no different than anybody else. I still don't have my stuff together. I still have problems. I still have alcoholism.
But you found a way to serve.
Yes. And that's way different than sitting in a bar drinking all day.
That's right.
Because that's what I used to do.
Yeah.
That was my solution.
Yeah.
So I found a new solution.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what people need to do,
Yeah.
is get the help they need,
Mm-hmm.
and then put that energy into something else other than themselves.
Yeah.
And be okay with the way you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part, is I wasn't okay with how I felt about myself. I
Yeah.
cared too much about what you thought of me.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't.
Yeah.
I don't wake up thinking, how can I get more followers? How can I get more money? It's not about me no more.
Right.
And I'm trying to live a different life than I did before.
I love it.
Yeah.
One of the questions, and it may tie into it, may not. One of the questions that we ask every guest, and I have to give credit where credit is due. I stole this from my good friends over at the Goat Consulting podcast, but it's things we think but do not say. And it's meant to be slightly controversial, but maybe it's something that a lot of people don't have the guts to say or to talk about that you feel strongly.
The first thing that comes to my mind is the phrase, "It is what it is." And
People say it all the time.
yeah, and I strongly, I have like this visceral reaction to that when people say that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not always what it is. It is not always what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it may look like a mangled flower on the side of the road,
Mm-hmm.
but you never know what it can grow into.
That's right.
You can't give up on it.
Yeah.
And I've even had judges and people that have called me in to be a part of ceremonies for graduations of some sort for recovered folks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the last thing that I say is, the person that walked in here on day one
Mm-hmm.
is not the man or woman leaving on day 365.
Well, if you think about it, if you go back, like if you would have in your gut, if you just, it is what it is, then that day that you thought about ending it,
Yep.
you would have.
Yeah, for sure.
And then none of this would have happened.
And that's the sad part of the community that I live in, is that there is a high rate of suicide.
Yeah.
Because there's
that permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah, and the stigma that lives, like, I can't tell them I have this problem.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to tell a 12-year-old I cannot drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Because I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know that young, because that's when I started.
Yeah.
Right? That's when I was engaged with it.
Mm.
And that's when I wanted a different feeling, and that's when I found a different solution to live.
Yeah.
And I was at dinner with a 12-year-old last night, and he learned a lot about Alcoholics Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
And he was interested.
Yeah.
And he doesn't come from a family that has that disease, but I was educating him.
Yeah.
Because he's a very smart kid.
Well, I think you said in the beginning that there was this pattern in your family,
Mm-hmm.
and that you were learning the pattern far before you actually drank alcohol.
Yeah.
And somebody has to take the hard steps in order to change the pattern. I think of, in fact, I just told my dad, not even 10 days ago, how proud I was of him, because he came from abuse, and where he got beat every day. And I said, Dad, thank you for the way that you raised us, for the fact that you said, that's not what I'm going to do with my kids, that's not right. And he didn't really want to take credit for that. And I said, you don't understand. There's so many people that would have just gone along with, well, that was how I was raised.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another phrase I can't stand.
No, you get to decide.
Yeah.
As the parent, you get to decide.
You can make the change if you see a problem, and you don't agree with something, use your voice.
That's right.
I tell my daughter that. I tell all my kids that. It's like, use your voice, because you never know what that voice can do to promote some change.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think it's on the same lines. I had, because I've got an 11-year-old, and he's in middle school, and we're hopeful that the new principal is going to be different, but the previous principal ran it like a prison.
Yeah.
And last year, and my son is so honest, he will tell on himself in a heartbeat, almost to a fault, but I don't ever have to worry about him lying. And a couple boys were in the restroom banging around, beating on things, and he comes out of the restroom, and another teacher gave him detention for that going on. And he said, I didn't do it. And she said, you talked back. Your answer is, yes, ma'am, you're going to detention twice.
Wow.
And he came home. Of course, he was upset, and I was like, dude, if you don't speak up, it's the same as lying. Because if they accuse you of something and you don't correct them, then you basically, you said you did it. I said, so I'm proud of you. Always stand up for yourself in that regard. Do not let somebody accuse you of something and just go along with it.
Yeah.
We have to use our voice.
Very true.
You know?
Very true. And that's what I appreciate about you, is that this bowling, I had no idea when we met that you were the backwards bowler.
Right.
And like, you've used something that's so unique, so powerful, that God gave you a gift.
Well, it's fun. It's
fun for you too.
Well, I was in East Tennessee just probably about the same time you were. My son was up at UT camp, and so one day I didn't have meetings going on. I was like, well, I'll run by and go bowling. And you walk into a bowling center, you never know how it's going to be received when you do something ridiculous like bowling backwards. And the lady walked up and she goes, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, you do you? And she goes, can you sign my stuff? And I signed 2 bowling bags and probably 10 autographs while I was there.
Wow.
And just the most amazing welcome. So big shout out to Strike and Spare in Fountain City, East Tennessee. Just amazing people over there. But you never know when you're going to run into somebody amazing. And I'm so glad that Nick introduced us, and that we have all these other connections through Troy and through Valerie and probably 10 others.
Small world, man.
It is. Well, I think great, like people that are motivated to do, almost hate to say great things, but I think it's such a broad, definition. Some people are going to think that's money, and it might be, or it may be service. But these minds come together, and it's that kind of, the idea that if you're positive, then you vibrate at a certain frequency, and that attracts other people that vibrate at that similar frequency.
Yeah.
So
it's magic in a bottle, man. It
is.
It's one thing that you just touched on it, but one of the things that I'll just tell you, I was having a conversation with my sponsor last night, and I told him, I said, man, I'm noticing these people look at me differently. Like they're looking at me like I'm some kind of special person, like I'm better than them. Or they look at me after their surgery and they look at me like I'm God. And they look at me with these big eyes and they're like, I just don't know how I can thank you. Right. And in those moments, I'm like, I just held the door, man.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing. The real heroes, the real gods of this universe, they helped you connect to those magical hands that fixed it.
I think, though, you got to give yourself credit to some extent, though, because we're all a part of it, right? And I go back to, I was fortunate that I had a business coach early on. And, I remember when our company had grown from, say, 150 people to 300 people. Yeah. And almost every employee that we had drove a nicer car to work than I did. And my wife and I, we were big Dave Ramsey fans, and we saved, and we all the things. So, here I am driving a car. It's got 250,000 miles on it to work every day. It was reliable, but it was not going to win any shows. Yeah. And my business coach, I actually bought his truck. I brought his truck from him, and he shows up a couple business meetings later, and he's like, "Where's the truck?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't drive that to work." And he goes, "Why?" And I said, well, I don't want to give off the air that, I'm that guy, or, I got it like that. And he goes, at some point, Jim, you've got to understand that in order to inspire people, you have got to live a life worth aspiring to. And so those people that you helped, they see you in this light of somebody that helped them, but also you've built a life. You've built a life of service where you get to give back to others. Yeah. And so they may be that look may be that inspiration that they've been looking for.
I never thought about it like that. It's just different. It's different from going from a place of nobody looking at you or giving you any attention and you're having no friends to now people are begging for my phone number. It's different. It's a different experience, and I'm just kind of living in it. And God has given me a platform and blessings to be able to impact other people and to be able to be connected to people that can heal other people. Right. Yep. And I think it's a lot of fun to introduce, new people and create new partnerships and create networks that were never, even alive until you brought the two people together.
That's right.
Right. And that's what I'm all about. Like I get fired up when two parties come together and they go, wow, you can really help me and I can really help you. Yeah. Let's do this.
It's that win-win situation where everybody's getting what they need.
Yeah.
In fact, I tell people this, and I'm pretty sure I told you this on the very first time we met. Like, where I get just on fire is when the most selfish decision I could possibly make is also the most selfless decision I could possibly make. And it's just like,
yeah, those are the best deals.
I can't not do this for you because it's doing it for you. And if I do it for you, that it's also doing it for me, and everybody gets what they need.
Yeah.
And then we both get energy from it.
You're right. That's the other part, is the energy. And some people would call it like a dopamine hit because there is dopamine involved.
Sure.
But it's the energy that you're creating towards moving towards something new. And I always say, like, it's thinking outside the box. It's coming up with different processes. Like, I'm not as the smartest guy in the room, but I know that if I see the smartest guy in the room and I see the most strategic guy in the room and the guy with money, I know that I can bring them all three together and we could do some great things.
That's right.
Right. And we can impact the world in ways that they've never been impacted.
Yeah.
All we got to do is come up with a mission and an understanding that, hey, the mission comes first, right? It's not about us. It's not about the ego. It's not about the pride. It's not about, Justin or Dr. Pryor or Dr. Griffin.
Yeah.
We are just being a conduit to healing, and that is it.
It just flows through you.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's so blessed by God. I have no doubt that it is. Just with the people that are around us, you and Nick and Hollywood and the politicians that have come around us, and it's just a different experience. It's a beautiful life to be a part of, but it's also like sitting in that waiting period of, you built a business once, you remember when this happened, you remember how you felt, you remembered having no resources and making every bit of that dollar count.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at.
So with that said, I'm going to change up my normal question. My normal question is, if you were going to put together a bowling team for a charity event, but you already have a charity event that goes on all the time. And so I will just say, if you were going to put 4 people together that have ever lived in order to do something amazing, who would you pick?
I would probably, honestly, I would take 4 guys out of my program because they have the principles to make it work.
I love it. That's great. Because we've had people pick all different types, but that tells me you're working with the people that you want to work with.
Heck yeah,
every day. Every day. Yeah.
Yeah. And, they're just beautiful people.
Yeah.
And it's magical when they do get it, and they grasp it, and they understand it, and they know that it's not about them, and then they start searching for their place in the world and their way to give.
Yeah.
And that's what I usually talk about in meetings, is forgetting about the sales job or the CEO job. What can you do to help others and make money and live a normal, pretty plain life?
Yeah.
Not complicated.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm ultimately trying to live towards, is peace.
Yeah. I love it. Last question.
Yeah.
And we ask everybody this. Some people put a lot of thought into it. Some people haven't. How do you want to be remembered?
So I've learned that, other people's opinion is none of my business. And so I don't really care to be remembered. If I am, great. I probably won't even have a funeral, because I've learned so much about the ego and the pride, and I don't want to take up space in this world when I'm gone, because I've taken up enough.
My wife would literally be like, he has said that before, because that's the way I feel about cremation.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at anybody that wants a casket and all the pomp and circumstance, but I do look at it like I've taken up enough space while I'm here.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't take up space when I'm gone. No.
And, I think, I want my kid to remember me, but past that, like, I know that there's a different place that I belong.
Yeah.
And it ain't here.
That's good.
And it doesn't really matter.
That's right.
Because no one's going to remember any of us in 100 years.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Those things, I lost all types of want and desire to be famous, and I don't really care to. Celebrate my death, but I'm somewhere else that's a better place than here.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Justin, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the amazing work that you guys are doing at Smiles for Recovery. And the website is just smilesforrecovery.com, right?
.org.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are ORG.
All right. I love it. And there, doctors can figure it out.
Yep.
How to be a part of it.
Front page. You got patient inquiry, doctor inquiry.
Okay. Also, if somebody wants to give, can they give right straight through the website?
Donate page is on. The link is on the front page as well.
Okay. Are you guys on social media?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Smiles for Recovery is our handle on both. Follow us, tag us, love us, give us your money. We need it.
Yeah.
The mission has to go.
Yeah.
And you do get your money back when you file your taxes.
Yeah.
So we need your help.
Yeah. I love it. Justin, thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, team. So you heard it here on the Charge Forward podcast. Big shout out and thank you for everything that Justin and his team are doing at Smiles for Recovery, Dr. Pryor and everybody that's involved in just this amazing mission of helping people rebuild their lives and move on to something better. I have no doubt that there's other great missions out there, but this one is here. It started in Middle Tennessee, but is spreading across the nation. So whether you're a doctor that wants to get involved, you're a potential patient that's trying to put your life back together, or whether you just want to be able to say that you're a part of this mission and donate a little bit of money, you can absolutely do that at smilesforrecovery.org. Please check it out. See the amazing work that they're doing. Please follow them on social media and all those things. And remember that we come out with new episodes every Thursday on the Charge Forward podcast. We have amazing guests with crazy backgrounds, and you never know where somebody with an amazing story or an amazing mission is in your life. You may be sitting beside them on the bus, you may be sitting beside them on an airplane, or passing them in the street. And our mission here on the Charge Forward podcast is to bring them and shine the light so that you can be inspired by their story, and hopefully it was the right story at the right time for you to be able to take a little piece from their story and make your life even better. Until next time, I'm Jim Cripps with the Charge Forward podcast, coming to you from Hit Lab Studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll see you later. Team, is Jim Cripps here with the Charge Forward podcast. I just want to tell you, I love you. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you for subscribing and sharing the Charge Forward podcast with people you know and you love. because that's what we're here for. We are here to share the amazing stories, the things that people have been through, the ways that they were able to improve their life, so that you can take little nuggets from theirs and help improve your story and be better tomorrow than you were today. I hope that this is the tool you needed at the right time, and that you find value in the amazing guests that we bring each and every week. Thanks so much, and don't forget, new episodes drop every Thursday.